And the Falcons score to cap it off. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From the 6. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Seattle's first go on offense forthcoming, and under center, of course, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 16. Throwing to start the drive. Wilson. That swung out wide to Harris. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 7 yards, the pickup there. Well, this defense for the Falcons, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope they'll recover.
I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Play action. It's Wilson. And a throw right sideline is complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a
first and goal and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. There's a fast release by Wilson out to the flat. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. These two teams all tied after one. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. He'll take it at the 42. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They go play action with Wilson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
Time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On the give, this is Harris. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He'll find Najee Harris, and the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. That time a 6-play drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Set to return. Here's Raheem Mostert. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Atlanta regains possession of the football. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll drop to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that 1st down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. Now a carry for Lindsey. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. And the running lane's non-existent in this 1st half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. Now here's a throw. It's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. A little check down to Lindsey. Now the Seahawks going to use the 1st of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. And his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this 2nd quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. Keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Seahawks going to take over now late in this 1st half. And they've got just under 50 seconds, so time enough to try to work their way downfield if they so choose. Now Wilson on 1st down. That's complete to his tight end, Paulson. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 1st half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action now. Wilson. Dancing to it, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the 1st half. To try again after the sack. Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Wilson. Flush to his right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. That's caught. Touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Now the try here for the point after. It's good, and it's 21-10. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it all culminates with a Seattle score.
Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Mostert now to return. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And the Falcons going to get one more drive here in this first half as they take over with just 17 seconds left before the break. Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Continuing on, here's a look at the next-gen stats in that first half, and it's been the passing game that's been the story. They have feasted on this secondary to the tune of 200-plus yards already through 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit. These two coaching staffs likely going through their final adjustments for the second half. One of these teams is going to emerge 2-0, but who will it be? To find out, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. From the 10. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They got the victory last week. That was against the Baltimore Ravens, and they have the lead here as well. Play action. Now Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They run again with Harris. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Third and 2, now Wilson. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 21.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Rolling to his right. Touchdown, Seahawks. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point attempt here still to come. And the lead is up to 18 now. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that is incomplete here.
I know that we've seen their share of struggles, and the quarterback's been hit a few times in this game, but this one can't be put on the offensive line. They gave him plenty of time to throw the football. I think ultimately he has to be a lot more decisive in his decision-making and get rid of it and find an open target.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up, but the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
The broken tackle, but couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Now Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Now a first down carry for Harris, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Harris going to get it again on second down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That second down play nets a -4. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. And those linemen, of course, can't be... more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. To throw is Wilson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. It's a big play there for Seattle. Now, he came into this game within shouting distance of Dan Marino at 61,361 career yards. And with that last play, Charles, he just went past Dan Marino.
I'm struggling over here. And the only reason is when you hear about him passing a Dan Marino,
a legend,
makes you step back and really take stock of his career, and you realize it's not just about the numbers, it's about the accomplishments, it's about the play. How great is
touchdown? Complete at the 1. A great effort there. Taking it in. And the Seahawks are on their way to a 2-0 start. Point after, right down the middle. And they open the lead up now to 25. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Mostert now to return. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. That'll be caught. Rager with it. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They'll look to throw again. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Back to throw again. He's going to find Gallup here complete, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to actually inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's caught.
Oh, now Lindsey lost the football. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. They'll drop to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They can't hook up here on the fourth down pass attempt, and the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And he rifles one incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. On play action, they'll throw. They'll roll him out right. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They go play action here on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. They're going to look to throw. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on this.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Jalen Reagor, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead down to 18. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Now here's the Falcons defense getting set to go again. And this is an afternoon that they're going to want to forget pretty quickly.
And that's going to be hard for them to do because they still have to go watch film. And so someone's going to point out all the errors, but you're exactly right. Can they set that aside and get themselves geared up for a better performance down the road?
Maybe some of them at least have dinner to look forward to with their families after this one.
Well, I've got dinner to look forward to with you, and I know who's buying.
Yep, not me. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. It got his man complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Extra point right down the middle. And they open the lead up now to 25. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And that throw, pretty impressive, and even 61 yards through the air. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that.
That's caught inside the 20. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Jalen Reagor with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Falcons cut into that lead. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they?